Good morning, my dear students. Today I am going to continue the poem Aunt Jennifer's Tigers, Part 2. In first stanza, we come to know by the point of view of the narrator about her aunt, about the wish and longing of the narrator's aunt, that her wish was to be just like the tigers, just like the brave one. Okay, she wanted to be a very bold, brave, courageous, and confident. And because of this longing, she has embroidering the images of tigers on the tablecloth or the wall cloth or or on the curtain with bright topaz, using bright topaz, okay, and embroidering the image of tigers, symbolic of bravery, courage, and freedom. And she wanted to have all these things, but she never get the chances and opportunity to have all these things. But in second stanza, we'll come to know about the condition of the aunt according to the point of view of the narrator. We come to know in first stanza that aunt was embroidering something, okay, and that was the image of tigers, and the tigers are just prancing, and the background of the image is nature, pasture land, green field, forest. Even the under the tree, even the men are sitting there, but the tigers are not affected, okay, and not terrorized, having no impact on of the presence of the men. So these kind of things he wanted to have. But in second stanza, now the narrator is talking about the condition of aunt, and let's see what is the condition of her aunt in second stanza. Aunt Jennifer's fingers flirting through her wool. Flirting sound, okay, is a very simple or easy literary device. FF sound is there. So this is the case of alliteration. I have already given at the bottom of this page. I have given the list of literary devices. Only two literary devices has been used: alliteration and metaphor. Metaphor here, bright topaz. They are made with the bright topaz, and alliteration, fluttering, prancing. Okay, PP sound is there, and here flirting, FF sound is there, alliteration is there, and the rhyming scheme is AABB. Like first line ul, second line pull. So AA same similar sound is there, and wedding band and Jennifer's hand. So here BB is there. So AA and BB. This is the rhyming scheme. Generally they ask, okay, in the exam, that what is the rhyming scheme of this stanza. So you write. I have already written there at the down, and I have also given a list of new words, okay, of this poem at the bottom. You will see what are the new words says the narrator has used in this poem. So now we are coming to the second stanza and its explanation. The narrator is telling, Aunt Jennifer's fingers fluttering through her wool. Aunt Jennifer's fingers fluttering. Fluttering means showing a shaking. Okay, means this shows the fright. This shows the nature of the aunt, that she was completely oppressed, okay, by the presence of her husband, and that's why she was very much not confident. She was terrorized. She was, completely affected, and at the presence of her husband. So this is the condition, and that's why she was unable to pull her hands. Means she was addicted with the only orders. Okay, do this, just like a handmaid or a domestic servant that do this, and they are always always in fright that what will happen, okay, with them by their master. Similar case is here with the narrator. The narrator is observing about the condition of her aunt, that she was totally frightened and terrorized at the presence of the her husband in such a way and in such an extent that even see her hands, fingers are fluttering through her wool. Through her wool means here refers to that she was embroidering the images of tigers on the tablecloths, okay, or on the wall clothes. So there she was even unable to just pull the needles. So this shows that she was extremely tired. She was totally oppressed, and she was completely terrorized by her husband, and that is why even uh, she was unable to do the embroidery work there. So this shows the image of wool is very much important here. Wool is simple meaning of this word is wool means thread, and thread generally come from ship, and ship is symbolic of innocence and blind imitation. So according to the narrator, uh, the women, okay, of her time, of her age, of her era, were blindly accepting the profession of stitching, okay, and related to the work of household activity. So she indirectly voices her concern about the uh, to the women of the world that don't imitate, okay, blindly anything, don't accept anything blindly, and don't dependent for anything on the male dominant society, okay, or on your husband for any needs. Just be dependent, okay, be independent, and decide something that you can just do whatever you want in your life, and there will be no chances and time to be always dependent on your husband. Like this kind of things he wanted to clarify or say in these sentences. Like wool. So wool is blind imitation and innocence, image of innocence. So women should not always, imitate blindly, and they should not be always innocent, okay, in their life. They should be bold, brave, courageous, okay, similar to the, or just like the tigers, okay, in her longings or in her images. Second line, find even the ivory needles hard to pull. See the condition of her physical strength. Even she has lost her physical strength. Maybe she might be completely tired. She might be feeling totally tired, or she was oppressed in such a way that even she was frightened, even at the presence or at the absence of her husband. So this shows uh, ivory needle. It was a kind of instrument that she is using in order to embroidering the images of the tigers, and even that needles she was unable to pull. So this shows the lack of confidence, okay, lack of courage, and lack of everything that a human beings, okay, a male or a female both, okay, they should have in their life. So that's why it is a contrast, okay, the wool that don't blindly accept anything, just be rational or be individual, decide your aim, okay, and accordingly work, achieve something. Don't depend on your parents, don't depend on your husband. This was the actually message for the women of the world, and in this way she is voicing the concern, okay, or the concept of equality of women to that of the men. The massive weight of uncle's wedding band sits heavily upon aunt's Jennifer hand. Now see the massive. Yeah, massive is very big. Actually here, uh, uncle's wedding band. Here wedding band is generally the people just explain, the critic also explain here wedding band refers to the band baza, but it was not like that. One explanation is okay with that, because the uncle came in order to marry to the lady, okay, who is now aunt of the narrator, with a band baza. But actually here wedding band actually refers to the ring. Ring they have in Christianity, they have ring, in Muslim they have nikah, and in Hinduism they have they are witnessing the fire, Agni ko sakshi मान के, and then just get married. In nikah, the two witnesses are there, and they have some deen and muhar, some kind of things is there. So here in their culture, here wedding band is a kind of ring they used to wear and that is symbolic of marriedhood. So that wedding band is actually in her finger, and that's why it is sitting there heavily. Okay, and it is very massive. Why it is massive? Because it contains a lots of responsibility, a lots of respect. Okay, of the of her husband, that she will have to maintain. She will have to oblige all the roles and responsibility because of the marriagehood. Now even in Indian bahu, the daughter-in-law have so many responsibility and an obligation towards her family, towards her in-laws family, that you do this, you wear the you should have dressing sense of this. Means so many things are there, but now it is changing. Now the daughters-in-laws are getting educated, and the families are also very much now practical, and now they are removing the traditional approach of lifestyle. So it a little bit changed. But here in the case of the aunt was very severe. She is just like an oppressed. So here massive weight of uncle's wedding band sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand. Means the marriedhood has totally terrorized her. The role and responsibility of her marriedhood has just clutched him, okay, in such a situation that she was unable to come out with that. She was heavily loaded with lots of roles and responsibility, okay, in her life, and that's why she was totally terrorized, thinking that if if I have done something wrong again in my life, and I will be rebuked, chided, scolded, uh, or beaten anytime. Like this kind of fear she is having because of the ring, wedding band, or the marriedhood. Now in third stanza, now see what will happen after the death. Means how she will just live, how she will wish in her life after death. See the condition of the aunt. When aunt is dead, her terrified hands will lie, still ringed with ordeals she was mastered by. The first line is when aunt is dead. Now see the approach of the narrator. She is telling that even when aunt is dead, her terrified hand will lie. Means the terror will also lie there. The terror will not remove from the dead body of the aunt. It will still be there. Means even after death, the burden, the obligation will not be removed. The role and responsibility will not be removed from her personality. She will have to oblige with for everything. So this is the uh, traditional approach of life uh, to the women, and the narrator wanted that these all sort of practice should be abolished. Now we have some tradition that if a woman died, she will have to just oblige with all the rituals, all the traditional approach. So these things he wanted to abolish. Still ringed with ordeals she was mastered by. What is a ring? Ring is, as I said, a wedding band. Okay, just like a wedding band sitting heavily. That means the marriedhood of the aunt. And now she is talking about the ring. Here, ring is also symbolic of very uh, chain of suffering. Ring is actually refers to chain of suffering after the marriage of the aunt. Means after the marriage of the aunt, she was continuously suffering. Okay, she was continuously oppressed. She was continuously uh, tortured and tormented in her family by her husband. So this is the condition. A ring is also symbolic of chain of suffering, at the same time cell, jail. It is that women are supposed to live in house. They are not supposed to come out with this. If they will come out, the whole prestige will be tarnished because of their coming out of their home. When they will start moving outside without taking permission of their husband, it shows that they are just destroying the reputation and image of husband. So they are supposed to live in house. So here house is symbolic of here, ring is symbolic of cell, jail, okay, prison. So here prison which is symbolic, prison is there. So still a ring with audience he was mastered by. Here still ring with audience. Audience refers to means she was means she was oppressed in a such a way that she has just adopted herself, adjusted herself, compromised herself. A kind of traditions, okay, rituals. Still ring with audience she was mastered by. Means she was now well equipped, okay, well adjusted in all the terms and conditions that the male dominant society has set and fixed for them, and that the narrator does not want in her own life. So this is a revelation of the narrator's desire that I don't want to be like my aunt, and perhaps that's why she is going to explain this poem in a way so that the unmarried lady, okay, unmarried girl, should take lesson that dependency is very dangerous for their survival, for their freedom, okay, or for their happiness and pleasure. So first they will have to opt a profession that supports them, okay, financially, so that they can stand on their own feet, and then talk about their equality. She does not want the coming generation imitate, okay, blindly imitate the same footprints of her aunt, okay, and suffer in their life. This was not her will and wish. So this was the message of the narrator to the all the coming generation, okay, of women, that if you want equality, you will have to think about your your own self, think about your profession, think about your freedom and pleasure, think about your equality, and that can have, that you may have when you will completely independent, when you will start working, when you will not stay at home, okay, and waiting for your husband. So this kind of things he is voicing, okay, in this poem. She is telling in the last stanza that even after death they are not set free. They have so many ordeals, okay, even they have so many rituals and traditions and terms and condition there. This is the condition after the death. Now the wish is still there. Now the last line you please see, the tigers in the panel that she made will go on prancing proud and unafraid. But the wish is there. There is a line by John Milton, many a flower is burned to blush unseen and waste their fragrance in the desert air. Means many women are there, many girls are there. They have extraordinary talent. They may be, P.T. Usha, Kiran Bedi, Jhansi Ki Rani, and many other freedom fighters, okay, and many big scholars and scientists, okay, like Kalpana Chawla, Sunita Williams, but their talent is curbed by the marriage of, by the marriage, and they are imposed with a heavy load of, marriedhood. They are imposed with so many terms and conditions of the marriage, and because of that their talent is wasted. you know One of the example of this, that many are there, they are extremely talented, and they have the power and potential to be like Sunita Williams, okay, Kalpana Chawla, Pratibha Devi Singh Patil, Indira Gandhi, like okay, Kiran Bedi, and many others like Sania Mirza, okay, but they are not given freedom, and because of the lack of freedom, because of the lack of opportunity and chances, their talents are, their talents are just curbed, and they just withered just like a flower. They just lost their talents in this world. And how this happened? because of the early marriage, and at the same time because of the extreme burden of marriedhood, at the same time extreme male patriarchy mindset, the male dominant society, that they don't have any kind of role and responsibility. These all role and responsibility are snatched by this male dominant society, and because of that they are unable to survive freely, okay, and fearlessly in this world. And the narrator wanted all these things. So in Bollywood there is a movie Chak De India. So it is one of the example of feminism. So we have one set of examples that one girl was getting married there, okay. She was engaged, and when her husband come to know that means future husband come to know that she was going to play hockey match, so he asked to just come back, okay, and marry marry him, so that they could live their life, okay. But she was not willing to. She decided on that time, okay, that no, playing hockey is more important for me to marry the man who is not willing to give me freedom and not going to respect my aim. So this was the example. You may see that, okay, and can have the idea that freedom of what is the freedom of women, okay, and how they can maintain and have in their life, and what are the steps they will have to take. It is not easy, but it is not very hard also. So in this way, the poem ends here. You will see. You will read once again. The homework assignment I have given you, that you will do the NCRT. All the only 5 questions are there, and see those who are having if they are running short of time, they are not having enough time. So you do, okay, take time. One day in place of one day, take 2 days, but you just do and complete. I came to know that many students are getting very much bored and very much unhappy, very much stressed due to a excessive workload. Okay, but you are the board examiner. You will have to just channelize yourself. You have to grill yourself in a way, just like a runner of 100 meters, so that you could achieve your aim. Okay, so that's why we are grilling a little bit very much punctual and discipline, okay, towards your academics and towards your work and towards your uh, uh, towards your paper that you have opted, okay, in class 12. So same case is with this, okay, in the English, that I am also giving, okay, same way, everyday homework, everyday assignment, so that you could uh, well acquainted with everything, or can practice well and can score well. This is my feelings and this is my desire about you. It was not my wish to just torture you, humiliate you, okay, and oppress you after giving so many assignments. You are the board examining, and I have to just think about your career, okay, your life, your aim of life, and obviously about your marks, okay, that will decide your future in the coming life, in coming time. So that's why we are a little bit, disciplined and very much punctual to give you homework assignment every day. Now the list of new words I have given here, you will just read it, okay, and learn it. Rhyming scheme I have given here, A, B, B, that right now I have explained. Uh, Here metaphor used, literary devices, uh, repeated in prancing and proud, that is alliteration PP. This brief explanation I have given about the poem, stanza number first, stanza number second, and stanza number third. This is the brief explanation of this poem. You can see and can understand the whole poem, okay, at a glance. So thank you very much. All the best. God bless you all.